Okay, so if you have descriptive question, di ba? For descriptive question, you would like to measure each variable or a variable. So dapat you have to present univariate descriptive statistics. From the word itself, uni, only one, variate, variable. You want to focus on one variable at a time. Like this one, your variable here is the visits to the library. Okay? So you want to present here several measures of central tendency and several measures of variability. Remember that you cannot just give one measure, one for central tendency and then another for variability. For example, sa mean, you remember that the mean is sensitive. Ibig sabihin, pag napalitan siya ng isang value, the value of the mean will already change. Di ba alam mo to in your grades, for example, 80, 81, 83. Meron kang specific mean dito. But if you change the 80 to 82, the mean will also change. Median is less sensitive, even though palitan mo to ng 82, the median is no. Actually, it will change. The median will now be 82 if you order it. Let me get a better example. 81 and then 84. The 83 became 84, the mean will change, but the median will not. Okay, it's still 81. What I want to say is, you want to give your readers a better estimate of the center of the data. To do that, dahil meron ka mga extreme values, di ba, na pwede maka-apekto doon sa one particular measure, you would like to present multiple ways to present the central tendency. The same with the range, di ba, and the range, variance, and standard deviation. For example, in this one, 24, remember how we get this one? Di ba? 24 minus 0. Here, you can see that the values are much more closer to each other. But since you have extreme values, 24 and then another one is 0, nakakakuha ka ng range na 24 na reasonably or arguably is quite a large number, di ba? But it doesn't really reflect kung ano yung mga individual numbers mo dito. Okay? Most of them are actually quite low numbers. But if you have two or more variables, for example, you want to do a correlation research, dapat bivariate descriptive statistics, gumawa ka din ng ganito. Okay? Or if you want to compare groups, you have to do this. You will do this one, bivariate statistics, if you collected two or more variables. And yun nga, you want to test for relationship or you want to do a comparison of the groups. Pwede kang magkaroon ng contingency table or scatter plot diagram. Okay, contingency table. Maganda itong contingency table kasi you can present two variables at the same time. For example, here, the variable, this is the one variable and this is the other, gender and the number of visits. So definitely, gusto mo makita dito, i-compare yung number of visits ng male and female students, diba, doon sa library. Okay? So each cell is an intersection of the two variables. Meaning to say, this particular cell na aking binilugan, intersection between male students, and those who visited the library 0 to 4 times in that particular year. So 32 ay ang bilang ng mga lalaking students na bumisita sa library ng hindi bumisita up to 4 times. 83 is the number of female students who visited the library 13 to 16 times in that year. Okay? So definitely you can see, we can compare now. Okay, for this particular group rather, alin na mas madami na data, male or female. But actually it's better if we examine the percentages. Kasi remember, hindi equal yung number of male and female students na nakuha mo. This is 182 and this is 235, di ba? So yung 22 mo na to, that's actually out of 182. Yung 25 mo na to, that's out of 235. Pero kapag kumuha ka ng percent, 12% out of 100%, 11% out of 100%. That means na parehas yung basis ng comparison mo, 100%. Okay? So, dito, talagang mas okay. Mas makikita natin yung comparison, di ba? Yung grupo na pinakamadaming beses bumisita sa library, 17 times and more, makikita natin na pareho lang yung di ba, yung proportion for the male and the female students. 12%, 11%. There's not much difference. But in other groups, in other categories, for example, 5 to 8 times. So more male students visited the library 5 to 8 times than female students. And then for 13 to 16, significant difference ulit, di ba? Ang daming female students yung bumisita ng 13 to 16 times as compared with the male students. Okay, so you can use contingency table when you're doing comparison between groups. By the way, how did you get the percent? So simply divide it pa. 32 divide the total. 32 divide 182, you should be getting 18%. 182. Okay. The next one is the scatter plot. This is ideal for correlation research. Is a chart that shows you the relationship between two or more variables, visual representation of the strength of a relationship. So dito, you want to study if the number of times a person visited the library is related to the number of times he went to the theater to watch a movie. Okay? So, ito nasa vertical axis, sa y-axis yung sa library, sa x-axis yung sa theater. So, if you will observe the data, kita mo mga data points. If you draw a line, kita mo na nagde-decrease pababa, di ba? If you analyze it more, ito yung mga batang mas pupunta sa library. Notice that less than 5 times sila pumunta sa theater during the year. Pero yung mga batang, they don't really go that much to the library. Here is the line, less than 5%. Pero sa theater, 20 times sila nagpunta, nanood ng movie. So, you can say that there's a negative correlation, di ba, between the two variables. So, that's the strength of the scatter plot. Okay? I'll see you next time.